The Forte community. Like, subscribe, follow on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Get the latest and greatest information on people you want to glean from, and then meet those people in person at our next networking event. Like, subscribe so you can stay in touch and keep track of when we're doing the next event. We here to make you great. So tune in and watch. Forte community, y'all.
Also, make sure you go to Amazon. Go to Amazon right now. Help your boy become a best-selling author. The new book, Wholesale to Wealth, is out right now on Amazon. Make sure you are going right now. Appreciate the love. What's up, everybody? I am your co-host, Dominic Epps.
And I'm your co-host, Randall Monfiston.
And we are here once again to dive into your lane of greatness to discover what comes easy for you that may not be easy for all others.
Everyone's a genius, from the 9-to-5 employee to the Fortune 500 billionaire. We're here to highlight those attributes through dialogue and interviews with amazing guests.
So I got one question for you.
What's that, bro?
What's your forte? Let's go.
What's your forte?
Brother, what's up, man? What's going on?
What's up, man? What's going on? Yo, I've been thinking about something, man.
Okay.
I've been trying
out the gate.
So,
I love it. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go. I wanted to share this so this way our viewers can have an opportunity to have input and be able to help mold this. When you watch podcasts, they got different names for their community. When you listen to Earn Your Leisure, they call them earners. If you were a Harley Initiated fan, they call them initiates. There's other podcasts like Cousin and things like that. I'm trying to figure out what's the right name for our community members. What should we call them? I've been thinking about the Forteers. You know what I mean? I've been thinking about the Forte champions. Just trying to throw some ideas out there to see what the members could be called.
Okay.
What you think? You got anything off the top of your head?
Man, I don't. That's a good question, though, right? I mean, I would say, I don't know. I don't know if we call them entrepreneurs, but everybody is not entrepreneurs, right? We have some people Fortes and 9-to-5, right? So I think that's something that we should allow our audience members to, to comment the video and let us know what they think we should, what we should go with. How about that? What you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Comment and let us know. Let us know.
I didn't know EYL call their members earners, and you got initiates for. I didn't know any of that, so you kind of helped me out with that. Like, I wonder what is David calling those on Social Proof Podcast? Are you calling them, proofers? Like the social.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, do we gotta have a name?
Nah, we don't. But I'm just saying, it sets us apart, right? It makes our community that much more exclusive. Maybe like a sense of pride, a little morale booster to be like, I'm part of one of the Forteers or something. I don't know. Just
I like the way you just said that. But hold on, say it again, bro, because that was actually dope the way you just said it. The Forteers.
What?
Okay.
The Forteers. Yeah. What's your forte? You a Forte. You out here representing your forte. Solopreneur, entrepreneur. Like, what's up? Whatever you do and you doing great at it.
That's a t-shirt, by the way.
That's your forte.
That's a t-shirt.
Huh?
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah. That's a t-shirt. That's another thing. It's from branded perspective. I'm a Forte. Let's go.
Yeah. So listen, man. How was your day, man? Good day?
Yeah, it was good, man. So actually, I got a great story. So as you know, I've been brainstorming the whole transition from the 9-to-5 to be more focused on the entrepreneur. So I've been doing the 9-to-5. I retired military for the past 2 years. I've been like heavily focused on doing 9-to-5 and then 5-to-9. And I'm realizing like the 5-to-9 is growing out the 9-to-5. So I just recently made a decision, and fortunately my 9-to-5 is accommodating where I'm able to do part-time. So I'm gonna take, I think I mentioned this in one of the previous podcasts, sometimes you got to drop down to then be able to do more and gain. So I'm reducing my hours at work, so this way I can have more time to be able to focus on the business thing. So that's just a little story about my journey, and hopes that those who are listening, who are following the podcast, the Forteers out there, or whatever we choose to call in the future, they'll be able to see, okay, this is someone who's went through the process. We have somebody who's already completed the process, they're full-time entrepreneur, and you have somebody like myself who's trying to figure out the right way to transition from doing spending my time and somebody else's time to then be able to have
Yeah,
my own
yeah,
time, right?
yeah,
So, man,
yeah.
yeah. So
That's
just
good,
sharing
man.
that with y'all, just so y'all can be able to aware and just keep y'all updated.
Okay, so that
Yeah,
means there's more time in the properties. There's more time, with sweat equity, right? So I love it, man. That's dope, bro. That's
yeah, man.
dope. That's more time pushing the all black in November, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that. We'll make sure we talk a little bit more about what's to come, for those of you that missed out, But let's talk about today's guest, bro. Go ahead and introduce who we have today on the show. I think this is in line with what we've been doing, right? And it's great to have someone in this magnitude to be able to come on the show and talk about what he has going on. So come on, man. Let us know who we got.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Let's go. So we got another great guest, an amazing guest. So we've purposely in the past been trying to stay away from real estate so people don't think that because we're in real estate, we're only focused on real estate. We've been trying to get entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, everybody in different industries. So last week we had somebody that was in real estate space. This week, depending on when you see it, when it airs, you'll see somebody else who's in the real estate space. So today's guest is the owner of a property management company, and I'm gonna let him be able to tell you what his forte is. So, Ray, come off mic, tell the audience, the viewers, the listeners, what's your forte?
My name is Ray Sims. I am a Fortayer. I am the owner of Ray
Let's
Sims
go.
I
That's
Properties.
what I'm talking.
love
Yo,
it. I
that's
love it.
so
Let's
tough.
go,
I
Ray.
think it's
Let's go,
sticking. I
Ray.
Definitely,
think it's sticking.
Hey,
definitely,
it's
I think
definitely
it's
in
sticking,
the
brother.
sticking.
Let's
future.
go. Let's go. I love it.
Ray Sims Properties is a residential property management firm. We service the DC and Maryland area with homeowners and investors who's looking to rent their properties out and not deal with the admin stuff as far as finding their tenants, dealing with the maintenance, collecting rent, and all that. I take care of all of that from top to bottom.
Okay.
Got you. Got you. Okay. All right. All right. So question. We like to start from the beginning, right? And Dom normally answers this question, and we've probably been stepping on each other's toes, taking each other's questions. So I'm gonna take one of your questions, Dom. Um, let's talk about your childhood, right? Like, how did you start off? Like, tell us how you grew up, and then we're gonna try to walk people through from the beginning to now who you are, and see if your childhood connected to what influenced you to choose to be a property manager today. So, what was your childhood like? Where you from? How your upbringing, family life, struggles, whatever have you.
Yeah, so I grew up in Washington D.C. A few years later, we moved to PG County, Maryland. Was raised by a single mother. Um, we had a pretty good upbringing. I did everything a kid would do. Did anything I pretty much wanted to do because I was the only child. I grew up as the only child. Um, I remember one year I was in high school. My mom wanted to get a house built, and she got it built from the ground up. And I was like, "Dad, I want to do that one day. I want to do that one day." I remember every week we went by that house to take pictures to see the progress. Um, and I pretty much got my idea into real estate because I always wanted to do that. And this was back in high school.
Man, yeah, I think you're the first guest that's able to tie in what they're doing today as an adult so closely to what they seen as a child. Most people they've experienced some type of like a peripheral trauma, or not even trauma, something else that then allowed them to flow into who they are today. But you had direct, like you seen a property getting built, and you was like, "Oh
Yep.
man, this is where I want to
Man,
be."
that's
Yep.
dope,
That's
That's
man.
what I wanted to do. That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
wanted to do.
that's
So
dope.
I did it. I went with it. Of course, I went through my teenage years, was a knucklehead, doing things I wasn't supposed to do, just like most teenagers. Became an adult, bought my first house. That went well. Then COVID hit. I was like, hey, I don't want to live in this house no more. In the back of my mind, I still remembered I wanted to get that house built. I wanted to get that fresh house built. I wanted to see
Wow.
that house be from the ground. So one day, I worked for the government. My 9 to 5 is the government. I'm trying to make that part time. One day, they just set me at work. So I left the house and was driving around 202 to Landover, Upper Marlboro area, seeing all these new developments by the Wegmans. Checked it out. Hit up my realtor the next day. I was like, "Hey, what does it take for me to rent my house out and get a new one built?" He told me the steps, and we did that. Like I rented my house out, moved to my mother's house, I'm a mama's boy, so my mom let me stay there, stack some cash up, didn't charge me no rent as a grown adult, while I was getting a fully house built. 6 months later, I closed on my second house. That was all designed by me. And
Wow,
from
wow.
there, that's how I pretty much started my property management company because I rented my first house out. And to this day, I have the same tenants. And I think because of the tenant that I have right now was the reason why I'm so successful because I really like that tenant. And we have that good communication that if anything goes, we just communicate very well. And that's why I enjoyed the process so much. That's
That's
one of
good,
growing
man.
out.
So Ray, let's go back to DC, right? Before you moved to PG County, how was life in DC and what part of DC? Because I know there's different.
North
Okay, so
Northeast Riggs Park. Riggs Park. I went to LaSalle Elementary School on Riggs Road. It was fun, man. Again, I was an only child, but I had the neighborhood kids, so there was never no issues.
was
And
your
to this day,
neighborhood kids baby kids?
we were all
Okay, y'all all was
baby.
baby kids.
we,
Okay,
we
okay,
was all
all right,
bad back then,
yeah,
but we kind of grew up and matured, and a lot of us still stay connected with social media. So everybody's progressing.
gotcha. So to go from Northeast DC to PG County, right? Did some of your
Uh
friends, did they look at you like kind of frowned upon? Like, they look at you like you think you better than them? Like, how was that transition as far as your peers?
Honestly, it didn't. Honestly, it didn't because to be honest with you, going to middle school and high school, a lot of people took their kids out of DC to go to a PG County school. And so when I went to high school, I was like, oh yeah, we went to elementary school together. What you doing here?
Wow.
Because my high school was kind of close to the DC line, so a lot of people was crossing that border. And they had the same thing. It was like, hey, my mother didn't want me to go to high school in DC no more, so we had to come to Maryland. So it was pretty much the same experience. A lot of people from my high school were from DC, and eventually just moved over to Maryland because of school wise.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Mm.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So your mom, she got this property built right from the ground up. Um,
Right.
you know, so how often did you all go to look at the property throughout each phase? Like, do you
Went to
remember?
that.
Yep.
We went to that property every single week, or at least she went to that property every single week. Because I mean, that was an accomplishment for it. I mean, this was her second property as well. She got the house built. Anybody who get a house built, you want to see that. You want to see everything. And it kind of trickled down to me when I was getting this house built. Because where my mom lived at in Beltsville, Maryland, it's far from Brandywine. I live in Brandywine now, so when I was getting this house built, I didn't want to drive down here every week. But it was my mom was like, "You need to go and check on that house. You need to go and check on that house." So a lot of times she would come with me and make sure we would go inside when we weren't supposed to, right on the walls and the wood. It was just a really good experience.
Got it. Got it. Got it. All right. So we're adult. You got your second home, newly built. Got the other property, the first home rented out. When did you, although from a child you knew you wanted to do real estate, when did the thought for let me start my own property management company? It's one thing
Mhm.
to manage your own property, is a different thing to manage somebody else's asset, right? Because you got to deal with what they want done, what kind of tenants, what rules need to be adhered to that the landlord or the owner of the property may not be knowledgeable
Yep.
that they need to
Yep.
adhere to, especially
Yep.
when it comes to like section 8 or not being segregation type of thing. So how did you navigate that from I rented out my own property, I had success with the tenant, I like the tenant, so let me pivot and let me start doing this for other people?
Honestly, it happened when so it was always in my head. I was the type of person I'll think a lot and I won't execute. So when we was in COVID, you had no really choice but to execute because there was nothing else to do. Everything was closed, so everything stuck in my head. That's when it was forced for me. Yeah, I was forced to take everything out of my head and actually execute and make it to reality. So, boom, I rented my house out. I got my house built, and I have a friend who owns a property in DC. And she was like, "Hey, I don't want to live here no more. I'm moving to California, and I want you to manage my property." And then from there, it just pretty much took off. Because you trusted me. You trusted me with your property just because you see me and my connection with my tenant. That she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna trust you with I'm gonna trust you with my property." So that's pretty much how it. That's pretty much how it jump started. She lived in DC, so of course DC got rules that PG County don't have. So
Hmm.
just getting familiar with those rules, networking, doing a lot of networking, and just marketing on Instagram, social media in general, it just helped a lot.
So here's my question, right?
Yeah.
When did you officially start your company? Like,
2020. I got the LLC in 2020, October 2020.
Gotcha. Okay, so was this with your first rental? Like when
Yep,
you okay,
it started with
okay.
my first rental.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right. And did you have a mentor? Was there somebody that was kind of that brought you under their wing to kind of show you the ropes, or did you go to
No,
YouTube
I learned
University?
YouTube University and just learned on my own, man. Going to different networking events. That's why networking events are powerful because each event I go to, I learn something different.
Speaking
So
of networking event, so let's do this. Let's talk about the Forte experience because you came to the Forte experience, the
I
all
sure
white
did.
in DC, right? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna show our guests. We're gonna show them a little bit about it, right? But then I want you to, when we come back, I want you to talk about it. I want you to talk about
Okay. So, bro, we got a party to get to. That's right. We're busy trying to get you there. You should have been here. See you next year.
all right, all right. So, what did you
Yeah,
think,
man.
brother? What did you think? What did you think? Talk to us, man.
And I think that event was an entire vibe. I took one of my greatest friends with me. She had an amazing time too. It was a vibe. Good food, good drinks, good people, man. Met different, very groups of different people. Even though I knew a lot of people that were there, I met a great amount of people there as well. So I came out there happy, fulfilled, and I'm the type of person I don't like driving to DC. So for the fact that I went to DC and I had a great time means a lot.
That's what's up, man. That's I appreciate you coming out.
Yep.
And I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Right, like the whole purpose of this podcast is to have our guests meet our viewers, our listeners in person, so that conversation can be had. So people
Right.
like you right now, you're a guest, and when we do our next one in DC or the one in Atlanta, if you come to one in Atlanta, the people that see you and want to become property managers and they be able to relate to your story and be like, I want to be that guy. I want to be influenced or mentored by the guy that can meet you in person. So we do this. And I'm going to say it here now.
Yep.
And I haven't watched or heard every podcast, but I'm fairly certain we're the only podcast that does this with the intent to bring our guests in person to our viewers and our listeners. So use
Let's
that
go.
to your advantage. We're not doing this just for the sake of like, hey, like there's plenty of podcasts sharing stories and journeys of different people who are doing great things. But how many of them are bringing it to you face to face conversation? We're only going to be able to ask so many questions. So come in the room in the space where these people are going to be the guests like Ray, like Mobile Mommy, like all the Chris Harts, all the different people who doing great things in the
Yeah.
industries.
Yep.
Everybody's doing something great. Don't you want to be great?
That's
So be
right.
in a space where the great people are
Be
at.
be in the space with
Go,
greatness, right? And
go.
they have an opportunity for the all black in November. So November
Yeah.
2024, all black in Atlanta. But Ray, let's get back to your story, right? So let's talk about some failures, man. Like what happened throughout your process of starting this business that made you say, man, I wasn't prepared for that? Or, what was something that kind of shook you up a little bit that gave you your first business scar?
So I would say just for any business venture, when you start business, man, you just thinking about eating. You thinking about getting that income, getting that money, get as many clients as you can. I think my first failure is getting the wrong clients because everybody's not meant to be a homeowner, and a lot of people don't know that. And I think I kind of blame social media on that. Social media makes it seem like rental investment is the way of life, is easy, and it's not. It's not easy. There are a lot of rules behind it. That's why you hire property managers. But with that, you still got to be on top of your property. So just hiring those wrong clients who gives me the most headache was pretty much my biggest figure that I learned from. So right now, I found ways to let out the clients to know who to say no to and who to go move forward with.
Oh, so you vet the tenants. Is it the
I
tenants
bet
or the
I
client?
bet I bet first I bet the homeowners because I may not even want to do business with you honestly. As I said,
Ooh.
this is not
Oh
this is
man. Come
every
on.
client
Yeah.
every client is not a good client, man. So I'm
That's the
learning
first
every
time I've heard that. That's the
yeah,
first time I've heard that. Like, so you vetting
client,
on both sides, and
yeah,
I'm
I'm betting
assuming
on
that's to
both sides
protect your
because
peace,
yeah,
protect your
because
peace of mind.
you don't want I don't want a headache every day. Like I don't want a headache every day because at the end of the day, you want to make both happy. You need to make the clients happy and the tenants happy. So I'm in the middle of that, and to make both sides happy, I need to be on the good side with the tenants. They have to have all their boxes checked. A lot of clients don't have all their boxes checked, which kind of trickles effect to the tenants, and then I'm put in the middle of it trying to solve both problems, and it's hard to do that.
Got you. So when you are vetting the client, what are you looking for, or what are the red
Looking at
flags that make you say, you know what, nah, I'm good. We this is not going to
um,
be a great business relationship.
red flags is I hate to say it, but a lot of it has to do with the neighborhood the house is in, or when was the last time things were updated? Do you have yearly inspections of the house? That's a requirement of mine. Each of my clients, I expect everybody to get a yearly inspection. That's just if something happens, it's expected. If you live in these communities with these HOA dues, are they paid? Are they on time? Because you're technically not supposed to rent if you don't have those dues paid if you're in default. So just getting into to those avenues, just knowing those backgrounds of the house, knowing the backgrounds of the properties, knowing the background of the owners.
Got you, got you. Okay, that's the prayer, and it's something you said earlier, and I just want to make sure to go over people's heads. Sometimes you just, and luckily in Ray's case, and it wasn't by luck. I'm sure you were sharing this with people around you that you started doing property management for your own property. Hence why your
Yeah.
friend that had DC property was like, yo, you doing good. And it wasn't like you was selling them. You were just sharing your story and just regular
Right.
conversation. So again, trying to bring it back, it's your network that allowed you to increase your net worth, right? But
There
then
you go.
it's also you had a proof of concept. You was able to do something, and then from there, he was like, I could, if I'm able to do it for myself, then I'm able to do it for somebody else. And
Yep.
oftentimes, we as entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and whatever avenue that you're trying to see greatness, you fail before that first success, that first proof of concept that I was able to do it. All you need is that one time to shoot that three and it gets in. Now you have the confidence and you have the energy to be like, man, I could shoot another 5, 10 shots. Even if I
Yeah.
trip up and mess up and I get an air ball, or if it, like I know at some point I'm gonna hit that net. And that's all I need. So
Yeah.
don't
Yep.
give up because you
That's
never know
right.
how close you are to succeeding in whatever industry that you're in.
Yeah, that's good,
Facts.
man. Eh, Ray, evictions. Talk to us about have your most challenging eviction story, because brother, I got
Um,
one, but I want to hear yours. I want to hear yours.
evictions are not fun at all, but I would say my easiest eviction was in PG County. And people would say so many bad things about PG County, but that's one thing they got right. That eviction process was so smooth. Like I didn't have to go to court. Everything was online. I didn't have to look at nobody. The day of the
What?
eviction, I didn't even
Hold on, hold
know.
on,
I
hold on,
didn't.
hold on. Play that back. Hold on, brother. Hold on. Play this back. Play this back. You said you evicted someone and you did
Didn't have to
not
go.
have to go to court.
Yeah. It
Please
depends.
help us understand that one.
Yeah, so this particular house property is in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. It was a young lady. She had a bunch of kids. It was a very unfortunate situation, but she wasn't paying. So, of course, we was trying to work with her. The homeowner was trying to work with her because who wants to really evict somebody that got kids? These kids got to eat. These kids got to have a roof over their head. They got to go to school. They go to school in the local area. But at the end of the day, this is business. So after 2 months, we filed for the eviction. Everything was online. Once we filed and put on all of our supporting documents, you had to wait for them to contact you, and it was
So
like two
let's
weeks, three.
let's let me didn't mean to interrupt, but let's talk about those supporting documents, because we have people watching that may be interested in being a property manager, right?
Yeah.
So can you educate them on the supporting documents that's necessary when you're talking about evicting a tenant?
Sure. So for this particular property, you have to do the rent roll. I have a rent processing, a rental portal called Avail, AVAIL. If anybody needs one, it's great. Um, and it pretty much is pretty. Everything is automatic. So if somebody's late, it's going to show it. Just printed that out. As far and along, I had to print out the homeowner's business license. Anybody who wants to rent their property out, definitely look into a business license. It's pretty much required 95% of the area in this country. Outside of that, this particular house, as I mentioned before, a HOA. The HOA has to have a document. The document has to go to the owner saying, "Hey, this property is they're under our control and they're good to rent. They're up on their dues." They needed all those. The county needed all those documents, so you just imported that into PG County system and went from there. PG County contacted us like 3 weeks later, saying, "Hey, so we reached out to the person, no response. Reached out to them again. We have a court date. We didn't know about the court date until the day of the court date.
Wow, man.
Did
But
So
so
did
the
you have
tenant know about the court date?
the tenant knew about the court date, but in PG County now, I guess how they changed everything up. If we have all of our documents and everything squared away, you ain't gotta go to court. They
so
have to
did you
go to
have to
court.
give them a like a 14-day pay or quit notice?
Yeah, we did all that. We did the
Um,
pay or quit notice.
yep,
We did emails, text messages. It was excuses after excuses.
yep.
And I mean, as I mentioned, it's a business, man. So we had to move forward. It was unfortunate, but we had to move forward. So once we found out, it was just kind of crazy the day that we found out, hey, court is today. And it was like, well, we didn't get no notification. The county said, hey, since you sent all your documents, you don't need to show up, just the tenant. The tenant didn't show up.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
that's it. That's immediate possession.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so they gave us a couple of weeks later. They gave us a day of eviction. I did. This is my first eviction, so I did not know that I didn't have to show up to eviction. So the day of eviction, they gave you the time and everything. I went down there, saw about 20 people in the street because in PG County you have to have like 20 or 30 people. Everything has to be out within 30 minutes. The whole house got.
Whoo.
So you have
Wow.
Oh,
to
so
have
the
like
sheriff comes. The sheriff came and like basically gave
yeah,
him 30 minutes to get their stuff before they locked it down. Man.
the sheriff came, the locksmith
Wow.
came, and all the movers came. The county took control of everything.
Man.
After
You
the
said the
court
movers,
case,
the tenants movers, or somehow the county gets involved with a moving
the county gets
company.
involved. I mean, of course, you have to pay them. So
Okay.
like you have to pay a fine. It has to be like 20 or 30 movers. I forgot the number, but it has to be that amount because everything has to be out within a certain time frame. So
Wow. So the
got
county
Man.
that whole,
flips that bill up front and then
yeah.
charges the tenant on the back end for the service that they provide.
No,
Wow.
so no, the owner had to pay that. The owner had to
Oh,
pay
the
that.
owner paid it. Okay.
The
Okay.
owner
Okay.
has to
But that's
pay that.
something they able to tack on to the rears
Yeah.
and all of that they already got it. Okay.
So
Wow,
the owner
man.
paid that, and once I went there, everybody. I was the last one there. I was like, wow. I was the last one there. They knocked on the door. Nobody answered. They knocked on the door again. Nobody answered. Once they put that drill to that lock, that's when the tenant opened up the door
Oh,
and told
gotcha.
it I go, and
Gotcha.
then
So
everything was out.
having proper documentation is key, right?
Proper documentation. You
Making
got to
sure,
document.
yep, making sure you have proper documentation. So this is something that I learned for the first time. So we had a case where we had a tenant that was being evicted, right? Well, before she even got evicted, let's go back some. The cops was called to the property, right? And it was a situation with her son. Now, I had no clue that her son was staying there. She's the only one on the lease, okay? And this is a room rental, so a boarding house, so to say, right? So her son had an issue with another tenant, okay? Got
Mhm.
into it. She called the cops. The cops come, and the tenant says, "Hey, well, he doesn't stay here. He shouldn't be here, so he has to go." Right? And tenants are very smart these days. I'm not sure if they watch the podcast and getting all these nuggets, but they smart,
Yeah.
brother. They're very smart. So he tell the police, I don't have to go nowhere. Right? The tenant's calling me saying, "Hey, he put his hands on me. He got I mean, it was crazy, right?" And then the cop says, "Well, if he's been here for 30 days, you got to evict him. You can't just tell him he got to go." right? And I didn't know that he was there, right? So of course it's like, he was like, I've been here over a month. Now I had to take him to get evicted, even though he was not on the lease. So if you got somebody
Mm.
staying on your property, right? If they have a child or a boyfriend, girl, whoever, 30 days in Virginia. If they've been in that property for 30 or more days, you have to go through due process to evict them. You can't just say you trespassing and you gotta go.
Wow.
That was a lesson.
Yeah, so
Mm.
I have a similar situation right now. I have a new client. She has a property in Baltimore. Bought the property in January, flipped it, renovated, did whatever she needed to do. Looks really nice. It's not in the best area. Um, so one day, a couple of weeks ago, I got a text message, and it was like, was somebody over the property? The door was wide open. So somebody in the neighborhood went to the property, and it was a one of those little locks, those little locks that the realtors use. They broke the lock. I didn't even know you could break those things. Broke the
Man,
locks.
You
the
want the
lock
lock
box?
box? Like
Yeah,
the
lock box.
thick box? Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. Broke
Man.
the lock box. Took the keys, went in the house, and took all the appliances. Everything was brand new. So um, I called the police. The police came up. The interesting part of this story was that since the owner just bought this property, Baltimore City is behind. They hadn't transferred her name on the deed yet. Baltimore City would not go inside the property because her name is not on the deed.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
So
So even a
So
HUD statement showing the transfer, like the purchase of the house in her name,
so
none of that.
she found, so the bad part is that she's not here. She doesn't live here. She lives up north. So she
Mm.
couldn't just run down to
that
Maryland
sounds like an
off
insurance
the run.
claim, but you gotta have a
Yeah.
police report to go
Yeah.
with your insurance claim.
Yeah. So the next day she was able to email me a bunch of documents. So I went back over there, called the police. They came, they looked over the documents, and they was like, "Okay, we can go in there, but if somebody is in that property right now and they say they were living there with the last landlord, we can't make them leave." And I was like, "Well, what if they have a lease? What if it's not nothing in writing?" They're like, "It doesn't matter. If they say the last landlord name, we gotta go through the court process." Luckily, nobody was in that property, but they did take all the. They were just in there just to take all the appliances. So
That's
I was like,
crazy, man.
yeah. I
So
asked the cop. I was,
yeah, was it on a slab or crawl space? Had to be a slab, right? Or just
yeah,
basement? Was it slab?
yeah, uh huh.
Okay, okay, gotcha. Man, so random. Let me tell you a story about beach. So we got a property, and is in a bad neighborhood, right? So I went to go board it up because people were going in taking stuff, right? So I go in, man, and I'm anybody in here? Anybody in here? All right. I'm boarding up and I'm being loud, right? Because I'm like, if you in here, you about to be stuck. Because I'm boarding doors, windows, everything. Man, soon
Right.
as you talked about the drill, soon as I cut that drill on, man, to put that screw to that plywood, dude was like, yo. And somebody was in the house, man, and I let him out. I was like, look, man, you can't be in here, brother. But so it happens, right? It
Yeah.
it, it happens. But let's talk about, so what are some of the things that you recommend when you have a client that may have a property that's not in the safest neighborhood, right? Um,
Mhm.
are you asking them to have cameras, to have at least a ring camera, security system? Like, what are some of the things that you're recommending for them to have to keep the property secure?
Definitely cameras, alarm systems. But even with the cameras, though, that property that I just mentioned to you in Baltimore, it was a camera in the back, and they took it off.
What?
So, like
Man.
when you go to the back, you just see wires hanging where the camera's supposed to be at.
Oh,
They
they
took it
took
off.
all
So
the
like
devices.
these people are professionals. These people are professionals. So I was talking to the cop about it, and they was like, "Oh, this happens all the time. Like this ain't nothing new." So he was surprised that this is my first time going through it. He was like, "Aren't you a property manager?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "This your first time?" I was like, "This is my first time I've ever had to deal with this." He said, "This happens all the time."
Man, Forte. Randall. So are you telling me this property you wanted us to look at in Baltimore?
Actually, yo, Ray's the one that put me onto the property. Ray was the
Ray,
one
are
that
you
did it.
putting us
Oh,
on
that
to a
property.
property in
Yeah.
Baltimore where people are taking cameras? Is that what we doing? My gosh.
So
Whew.
the property that I saw with you, Randall, is that neighborhood is way better than the neighborhood I'm talking about.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay.
Like this neighborhood I'm talking about is like my worst enemy. I wouldn't even let my worst enemy live there.
So did you
But
get
I
a
mean,
tenant? Did somebody move in eventually or?
so this is recent. This is a
Oh,
recent
okay,
story. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
we still vetting tenants. A lot of people are very interested. But we need the appliances, so I'm just waiting for the appliances to come.
Man.
But other
Wow.
than that, the place is ready. The place looks nice. The place is nice. It's just it's unfortunate that the neighborhood is not nice. Like when you walk outside and you see the people in the area, and you be like, oh nah.
Right.
So is it the nicest house on the block kind of scenario going on right now?
Definitely the nicest house on the block right now.
You did too much glam and glit. The finishes are too high for
Man.
that area. That's what
Is it a row house or
Yes, that's a row house. It's a
it's
row
a row
house.
house? Okay, gotcha. Okay, so it sounds
man.
like somebody needs to buy multiple units.
Yes, because
Yeah.
the next house, the house next door is boarded up. Yes.
Okay, tell us about that one then,
Man.
Ray. Offline. Tell us offline about that one, the one that's boarded up.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right, I got you.
yeah.
Got you. That's what's up. Man. Yeah, man. So what are you seeing for Sims property, right? Like you got these couple, or I don't know, I don't even think we talked about how many, but what are you seeing as your goal, like 1 year, 5 years from now, as you continue to walk this path and fine tune your skill sets with property management?
So I'd say my 1 year goal, since I've been doing this for 4 years, but I've really been heavily doing this heavy for the last 2 years. My 1 year goal is to get more quality clients, not just anybody. As I mentioned, I want quality. I want people that who really are interested in the field, interested in home ownership, and really want to invest and build. I am there to help you. 5 year goal. I just want to be like a brokerage company of property management, having like different property managers under me, where I'm just foreseeing, overseeing everything, and just kind of grow outside the DC area.
Got it. Are you trying to go national, like across the country, like
Yeah, I
franchise
am.
and all of that?
Yes.
More?
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Got it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So let's talk about pricing, right? So of course, I'm a real estate broker, right? And so I've been seeing with the National Association of Realtors, there's a lawsuit in regards to standard commissions, right? In property management, there's been like a standard fee as well, right? Have you seen where there's been some changes in the pipeline where they're trying to prevent property managers from charging the standard 10% fee for property management?
I have not seen any professionals that try to stop that. I've seen more so just people, homeowners trying to lower that price down. But like I tell everybody, you get what you pay for. That's just like anything. You get what you pay for. So I'm not gonna really go under what I say because I'm giving you great service.
Gotcha. Okay.
Know your worth, bro. Know your worth.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what
Yeah.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Know your worth. And it sounds like that, you don't mind going into some of the roughest areas,
oh
right?
yeah, I don't mind at all. And
Um,
I'm not even licensed to carry yet. I'm good with it.
oh man, well that's interesting, brother. But yeah, but that's good though, right? It's good because you're familiar with the area. So being familiar with an area, it helps you, being familiar with the tenants or the type of people that's in an area, right?
Right.
And then of course, you give respect, you get respect, right? And so that's good. Um, do you have any Section 8 tenants? Are you accepting Section 8 tenants, or what's your stance when it comes to individuals receiving a voucher?
I think the voucher is that's a tricky situation. Because I always grew up believing that Section 8 is not good. I mean, Section 8 helps a lot of people, but my stance on Section 8 is it's not the people, it's the process. So I was going through the Section 8 process in DC, which I found a great family under Section 8. Like they were great, But the issue was the DC process to get a Section 8 family is so strict that who really wants to deal with that?
Mm.
So at the end of the day, they're taking the L all because of the city laws.
Wow. Wow.
Mm.
Yeah, I know that there's some where, they have an ordinance where you have to get your CO, right? And then
Hmm.
their inspection is just
Yeah,
it's
it's just
worse than
I think yeah, that was the thing. It was just getting on that inspection calendar. So like it taking this long to get on the inspection calendar. We all losing money right now, really,
Yep.
because at the end of the day, remember this is a business. We want to gain money. We want to gain this revenue. We're not doing that if we wait for an inspection date.
Right, right. So how are you marketing these properties then, right? So if you're not per se Section 8, what are some of your marketing tools that you're using to market these properties so that they're not sitting vacant?
So the property management portal that I mentioned, Avail, AVAIL, they have a marketing portion on it. So when I list a market for rent, it's going to blast to all the sites like for rent, apartment.com. I'm gonna put it on Zillow. I even put it on Facebook Marketplace. Actually, surprisingly, I've actually gotten attendance off of Facebook Marketplace. So just pretty much anywhere, Craigslist, anywhere, everywhere. Social media is pretty. I'm really big on social media, so I definitely put it on there as well.
Mm.
That's
And you
good.
said what was the name of the website again?
Avail, AVAIL
Okay,
.co.
Okay.
got it. And
Avail.co.
they push it out to all those other platforms, all those
Yeah,
advertisement,
yep,
rental
yep.
property.
So
Okay,
everybody, somebody's interested, it has my information on there. They just contact me. And then even with that, so like for Section 8 for voucher recipients, like there's no outside of the actual DC Housing Authority or Baltimore Housing Authority sites, they can all go on through that. They can all go through any website and just reach out and they will ask, are you accepting vouchers? And technically you can't discriminate. That's like a rule now. So you
Absolutely.
gotta
yeah,
consider them. You have to
Yep.
consider them.
yeah.
So
Yep.
they have the same rights as anybody else when it comes to renting.
And you can't
Is
change the
it a
fee.
subscription?
You can't change the price
Nope.
either. You can't say is
Nope.
one price for a Section 8 tenant and then another price for someone that's not.
Right.
Is it for the Avail? Are you paying a set subscription where it allows you to do unlimited, no matter how many properties you want to advertise, or is it specific to I want to advertise this property like Eventbrite? The more people you want to reach out to, the more money you got to pay to kind of boost the
Mhm.
advertisement. How does that work for when it comes to
So
marketing for
for
that site?
Yeah, so for Avail, it's per property. I think it's like $5 or $7 per property. But outside of marketing, it does everything for me. It does the whole credit check, background check for people that want to apply. It does the whole application process, and it also does the rent collection. So
Mm,
when I get a tenant and they pay their rent, they have to have a username or login to Avail. They pay their rent, and it's going to go automatically to the homeowner's account and not mine. One thing about property management, it could be tricky. You got to know the rules. So DC, for example, rent payments cannot come to the property manager; it has to go directly to the owner. And so I practice that across the board, so there's no confusion.
Oh, so you send it to them, and then you send them an invoice for whatever was deposited in the account as a to your percentage.
So no, with Avail, I can enter multiple bank accounts. So I'm going to enter the homeowner bank account too. So when the tenant pays that rent, it's going to go directly to the homeowner.
Oh, their portion, but your
Yeah,
portion still goes directly to you. Oh, I thought you meant
I
it has
think
to go to them.
yeah, everything, the whole rent goes to them, and then once I see that rent goes through, then I'll just send an invoice for my portion.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Got it.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
So are you a one man team or do you have associates,
Um, I
employees?
have, I do have a business partner who works for me. He helps me out a lot. Because as I mentioned, I don't live in Baltimore, and most of my properties in Baltimore. I live in Brandywine, but my business partner he lives in Baltimore. So if I'm not able to come up there, he's right there.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Got it.
So,
Got it.
Ray, how can people get in contact with you, man? How can they reach out and connect with you?
You can follow me on IG at Ray Sims Properties. It's RAYSIMS Properties with an IES, or my email at raysims@raysimsproperties.com.
That's the
Got it.
Forte.
Got it,
That's the
man.
Forte. Ray Sims.
Yeah.
Hey, Randall, I noticed something, man. We've been on a streak where our guests do not give out their phone numbers.
Yeah. I just realized that. I just realized. Yeah.
Oh man, they're gonna give you
That's
that
not that.
social. They're gonna give you them social. hashtags and usernames or whatever,
And
but
emails and
and emails.
yeah.
But ain't nobody getting on no phone numbers. Like y'all not about to blow my phone up. Nah, I appreciate that, Ray. Um, so he did answer the question in regards to where he sees himself, 5 years from now, right? But Ray, what is your biggest goal? What would you say is a large goal that you would like to accomplish?
Quit my 9 to 5 and make Ray Sims Properties my full time everyday primary job.
Let's go. Let's
That's it.
go.
That's it. That's good, man. That's good, man. By when? By when?
So the initial goal was 40. I already hit that number. So I want to say, give me like 5 more years to really expand. Because I first 4 years I was just learning. So the more I learn, the more I grow. So I would say at least about 45.
Okay.
All right. All
Okay.
right.
That's dope. Ray, you 40?
Yeah, I'm 40.
Bro, you look like you 20, man. That's dope, man. Okay. What's in the water and brandy wine? What's up, man?
Man, just exercising every day.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you on that, brother. I'm with you on that. All right, man. Well, listen, stay.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
gonna put you back in the green room, man. But we're gonna come right back to you. But we thank you so much for being a guest, man. Ray Sims is in the house. We appreciate
Yes,
you,
sir.
bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Yo, dope conversation. Dope conversation, man.
Bro, man, that was dope, man.
That
That
was
was
good.
dope.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good. Yo, him having a checklist for venting his clients. So not anybody could be on his part of his property management when it comes to
Right.
being landlords. So I'm being selective with the landlords and the tenants. You're not
Yeah.
gonna stress me out. That's why he's still looking in his 20s. You're not gonna stress me out, right? That's what's
Hey,
up, man.
that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah, he's like, listen, you're not gonna stress me. Like, oh
Yeah.
man. I need more states and more cities to allow online eviction
Yeah,
process, right?
man.
Because that's a game changer when you don't have to go there and sit in court and like that alone, man, that's a game changer by itself, right? Um
Yeah.
and
And
I
then the
and
movers. The
yeah,
30-minute window to get the movers. Man, the
come on,
efficiency
brother.
is on another level. And
Another
it's
level, right? But the only part I didn't like about that was that the property owner had to pay the fee.
Yeah, but think about it. I would pay that fee. If you sitting there taking up space, the faster I get you out, the faster I get somebody else in and be able to make
Okay.
money off of this.
All
If I'm
right.
waiting on you to get the movers, then
No, no, no,
it's
no,
gonna
no, no,
cost
no.
me even more money.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, you can get Joe blowing them from the neighborhood to come and take the stuff out of here, right? But
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? But if you got to pay
yeah.
someone, so that's the only thing. I'm like, man, the homeowner got to foot that bill. But I get it. Also,
Yeah.
it must be a good neighborhood if you got an HOA, right? So from that standpoint, I totally understand. Like, hey, listen, they don't want
Mhm.
stuff just sitting on the curb,
Yeah.
right? So you got to make sure that get it up out of here, let it be gone. So, but thinking about the property owner, man, to be in another state and to find out that somebody came into your property and stole your appliances. Like, and I'm not sure if that was her first rental property. Let's just say if it was her first one. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I know we talk about failure and how failure can lead to success, right? But I just hope that doesn't discourage her. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Because for some people, it could be discouraging to be like, man, I just, it's my first one. Is it's happening already, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. But yeah, man. Listen, man, another one. We need to start
Another one.
giving numbers to these episodes. I don't even know what episode we're on right now, but I just know that
Recorded, I don't know. We had 11. We had 11 released.
Okay, well, whatever episode number this is, we have another fire one. So y'all make sure you go follow Ray Sims Properties on IG. And if you have not done so, make sure you go follow the Forte community and be a Forteer today, not
Let's go,
tomorrow.
man. I
Do it,
think we got our name.
right?
Man.
Man, it just flowed off his tongue, man. Like it was, man, that was dope. It flowed.
Yeah,
Okay,
Forte.
the Forteer.
Let's go.
All right, man.
Y'all see you on the next one, Forteus.
Yes, sir. Listen,
Let's go.
Mr.
Yeah, man.
Mephisto.
That's Mr.
Mark
Ah,
Fit.
here we go. Here we go. There
Bro,
you
I was
go.
hold on. I was actually watching the episode and I was trying to practice. Man, I had it down packed too. Monfisto.
No, Mephisto.
Mofisto. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all got to go watch the episode to see the episode with Brandon Jenkins, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I was trying to
Yeah.
get his last name right. That's episode something. Maybe we'll have it on the bottom up here so y'all can go click on it. But
Yeah.
I was trying to get his last name correct.
We're
And
gonna
don't
get it
forget
right.
to tell your aunt I need those. What is it called? What was it?
Oh, Peakleys. Peakleys.
I need that. Don't
Yeah.
forget me. I need that.
Got you. Got you. I'll remind her.
Yeah. Those things was delicious. Gotta have it. All right, y'all. Listen, we'll look forward to seeing y'all in November. Can we give them a date or are we gonna wait?
Nah, we're gonna wait. I'm still waiting on a confirmation email,
All
but
right,
it definitely
all right.
happening in November.
All right, so y'all be looking forward to November in Atlanta. All black. Go ahead and get your outfit or at least something. Have an idea.
Go ahead.
Right.
Prepare ahead of time.
No, because people may want to, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say get it now and then things change.
No, I mean, get the idea, start planning, figure out what you put together.
Get the idea. Hey man, Chris Hart, man. Salute to Chris Hart. Chris Hart, bro, they were deep at the all white.
Yeah, man.
They
like
were.
15
matter of
people.
fact, hold on. I'm gonna play the video.
So, bro, we got a party to get to. That's right. We're busy trying to get you there. You should have been here. Next year.
Dope. That was dope.
Yeah,
So
salute
you make
to him,
sure
man.
you bring your squad. You and your squad, y'all pull up. Y'all pull up. And all the influencers that's in Atlanta, we want to see you. Influencers, podcasters, entrepreneurs. We want to see all of you in the building. Because what we're working on, I promise you, it's gonna be amazing.
Man, yeah. If you was wild by that video, oh man, wait till once I get this email, I can't wait. I'm ready to shoot a promo video in that space right now, for real. Right now.
Yeah, right now. So, all right, y'all. That's all we got for y'all tonight. I guess we'll see y'all on the next episode.
All right, be easy, Fortes.
Fortes, we out of here. Go to YouTube, go to IG, go to Facebook, go to LinkedIn. What else we got, man? We got TikTok.
Also, go to www.theforteexperience.com and become a member of theforteexperience.com so you can get the up-to-date information on when the next event is, when tickets go on sale, all of that. Be in the know so you don't miss out.
Absolutely. And comment, who would you like to see on the next episode? Let us know. Go ahead and tag them in this video.